Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation on the Baxter Creek Watershed Hub Collaborative Project for Spring Semester 2022 at Sir Sanford Fleming College.
The agenda for today's presentation will go as follows. We'll be starting with a brief team introduction, then we'll be heading to the current situation with the BCWA, our project goals, the overall project mission, our expected outcomes for the project, a brief project timeline, and we'll be finishing off with our closing statements.
My name is Regan McLean, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Zoology from the University of Guelph. I have an interest in conservation and look forward to a career as a hydrographer.
And I'm Brian McAllister. I have a Bachelor of Science in Archaeology from the University of Trent, and I have an interest in history and would one day like to be an environmental conservationist.
For our project mission, we will be working with the Baxter Creek Watershed Alliance, established in Millbrook, Ontario in 2021. The main focus of our project is to create an interactive hub with access to a series of thematic maps, information about Baxter Creek, and building a foundation for future expansion of the BCWA and other watershed alliances throughout the province.
The current situation with the BCWA is that its hub is in its preliminary stages. Their map portfolio is also in its early stages, and they are currently looking to increase their inventory through this collaborative project. Since the BCWA is community-driven, funding for large-scale projects is realistically non-existent. With this connection with Sir Sanford Fleming College, we will be able to develop a concrete foundation so the BCWA can continue to move forward.
For our project goals, we are going to be starting with data pre-processing. We are going to be obtaining raw data from provincial open data sources. We are going to be focusing on the Otonabe River Outlet watershed area to delineate where the Baxter Creek watershed is located. We are also going to be using integrated hydrology from the Ontario Integrated Hydrology Service. We need to clip all the data to the study area, as well as create a digital terrain model using LiDAR imaging of the area. The plan also includes to use SOLRIS, or the Southern Land Resources Information System, to aid in our map creation process. The next step is creating a database. We are planning on hosting the data for the hub on GitHub, since it is open source and a collaborative environment that allows access at any given time. GitHub will be the primary repository for all workflow documentation and basic data storage for the entire project. For data visualization, this phase within the process allows the students to create thematic maps for the BCWA as a map series on their website. These thematic maps will aid the students in cartographic abilities to encourage the use of visual hierarchy and map development within the ArcGIS Pro environment. These maps will be available to the public on the BCWA website to educate the public on matters of importance to the BCWA. They will be available in PDF for download. For enterprise technology, the students will be optimizing an already existing AGOL map within the Resources tab of the BCWA website. This enterprise technology is an incredible asset for any association to effectively demonstrate their findings to the public. Using the enterprise services through open source capabilities allows a nonprofit, such as the BCWA, access to software that benefits data visualization of GIS services, as well as an interactive platform for the public to engage with. This ultimately leads to more awareness of the watershed, and therefore more awareness of the information that matters to maintain the health of the area.
The expected outcomes of our collaborative project with the BCWA are as follows. We need to create a geodatabase to house the information, develop a thematic map series based on their criteria. We need to work on optimizing their ArcGIS online map that they already have within their website, as well as figuring out a way to integrate GitHub into their current situation.
For database creation, our main objective is to create a space of organized and easily accessible data for the BCWA to access whenever needed for future projects within the association.
For the thematic map series, we will be creating a collection of maps depicting different topics near and around the Baxter Creek watershed. Some of these map themes will include hydrology, green spaces, floodplains, geology, as well as natural heritage systems.
For the ArcGIS Online component of the collaborative project, their current AGOL map active on their website is visually basic. Improvements are needed to effectively display important data for visitors to their site. We are planning to work towards optimizing their current layout and reviewing other options for their web map as needed.
In terms of GitHub integration, the BCWA team will work with the Fleming team to see if a GitHub repository is a good data storage solution for the hub. A team GitHub will be created to store all the collected data in one central place. This will allow for the team to make changes anytime they are needed. GitHub also allows for multiple users to have access to the repository at one time, which makes the activity of data sharing significantly easier.
For the project timeline, within the months of February, March, and April, we had our pre-project planning, and we used these 3 months to iron out all the ideas and methods that we wanted to use to complete the project. During those 3 months, we had several meetings with our clients at the BCWA, as well as our project advisor, to help us decide which direction we should be going and the things that we should accomplish before we start working on the actual project. We will start the project in May, and during this time we will be working with the BCWA members on implementing the methods we created during the pre-planning portion of the project. We will also be able to start working with the data that we were given during the pre-planning. By June, we will have created thematic maps and add them to the community hub where they will be accessible to all members of the community. This will be the final push towards the completion of the deliverables given to us by the clients so that they can be presented at the open house on June 30th. Upon the completion of the project, the progress made will allow the BCWA to continue making upward progress in the future. They can take the work that we have submitted and implement it in years to come to fit their model as needed.
For our closing statements, we would just like to reiterate that the end goal of this project is to create an interactive hub that can be used by all members of the community, as well as create a map series depicting different themes situated around the BCWA area. The BCWA task team will work closely with the students to solidify that project requirements are met. We are also looking forward to the growth and learning opportunities presented throughout this project. Regan and I would just like to thank our contacts at the BCWA, Craig Onafrachuk, Graham Whitelaw, and David Webster, as well as our project advisor at Fleming, Paige Wearing.